Minecraft Origins mod review. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the Origins mod. This mod adds 9 new classes to Minecraft, and every class comes with its own set of abilities and downsides. Each class's abilities are incredibly unique, so which class you choose will definitely affect the way you play the game. So choose wisely. But now, onto the abilities. Also guys, if you enjoyed this at any moment, consider subscribing. It's free to do, and you guys can always reconsider later on. So once we get to this screen, you'll pretty much be prompted with a little selection area. Pretty much this, your starter is going to be a regular human, which basically means your ordinary Minecraft experience awaits. That's no fun, but we want to get into the abilities. So let's look at them real fast. I'm just going to go over them real quick. Then we're going to jump in the game and I'll show you them individually. So first we have your Avian. Then we have the Arachnid. Honestly, I don't know how to say it. The Elytrian. I tried my best, guys. Sorry. We have the Shulk. We have the Feline. We have the Enderian. Merling. Blazeborn. Phantom. And back to human. And then right here is your impact level that basically just shows how much it's really going to affect your game. And then it goes from none to high. But nevertheless, let's actually hop in and show the abilities. So guys, to start off, we're going to do the Enderian class. This class is really awesome and I find really cool to use, and I just think it's going to be a really great addition. And to start off, we're going to go through the abilities and then the cons of it. So let's get into the first ability. So the first ability is really simple. You could basically throw an ender pearl anywhere you want. It's a really cool ability and you could basically do as much as you want, which is very strong and very awesome. The only thing is there's a slight delay, and I mean, that's not that bad, but hey, shoot, you can keep throwing ender pearls all day. And then the second ability, I'll show you guys right now. We'll test it with this grass block. So as you guys can see, I could walk up right here, punch it from that far away. So not only do you have a teleportation, you also have crazy reach, like insanely crazy reach. So you're going to be a force to mess with for sure. Now, as great as this class kind of is, you also have some downsides as well. One downside, of course, just like an Enderman, is that you can basically die by water and get hurt pretty bad. I'll show you guys right now. I have really low hearts, so hopefully this won't kill me. Ooh, we made it out. But yeah, as you guys can see, I take damage as soon as I go in the water, which is not good. And I mean, hey, you could teleport out if you really need to, but yeah. And then let's jump into the last con. So as you guys can see, I have meat and then I have pumpkin pie. One thing about this Enderian class is that basically you're scared of pumpkins. So you won't go around anything pumpkin. You won't even eat it. You won't do anything with it. And that's pretty much like the limitations there. So I may be able to eat this, but I cannot eat this pumpkin pie anything I do. I'm really trying, guys, but nope, it doesn't work. And yeah, that's pretty much the Enderian class. So now I'm the Merling class. So basically you guys could see that I'm underwater and I'm not losing health or losing oxygen, and that's because I can breathe underwater now, and it's really cool. Some other abilities that it includes is you can pretty much swim super fast, pretty much like Aquaman. It's really cool, and I could see underwater pretty well. And as you guys can tell, I'm not sinking whatsoever. Well, I'm kind of sinking now. I don't know why, but pretty much you could just stand like this and just hover. So that's really cool. And then lastly, another ability this guy has, or I mean this class, you can actually break blocks super fast. Just like if you were over and not underwater, I guess. And it's just really cool, like pretty much, it's just a really, really cool class. As great as all that stuff was, the main downside is if you go out of the water, I'll show you guys. You're going to lose oxygen. And if you stay out of the water too long, you will die. And that's really the main thing that it's the biggest downside. So if you're really not planning on staying in the water too long, I wouldn't recommend this class because you're going to really be stuck in there. But you could also be like Aquaman though. You could pretty much be the king of the seas. So guys, I am back as the Phantom class. And you're probably like, creature, you're invisible. I can't see you. No, you're not. Well, I actually am here. But this is what the Phantom class does. As a Phantom, you could basically become invisible and check this out. Phase right through blocks. Yep, it literally lets you phase through blocks. You can even go down too if you hit shift and phase right through the bottom of the world. I mean, it's an insane class, and to me it's pretty overpowered if you like to troll or something. I don't know. I just see that being used a lot. The only downside is if you go out of your ability of the Phantom, you burn, and that's not good. And you guys could also notice that my hunger is going really low because the Phantom actually burns a lot of hunger while you're in this state. So always have a bunch of food on you or else you really will basically have no hearts. And then also, not talking about just hearts, you guys notice I also have 3 hearts less than usual, and that's because of this class as well. So yeah, so be ready for that. Those are the main downsides. I mean, you get hungry fast, you have less hearts, and you pretty much burn if you're not in this state. But I mean, shoot, you could phase through walls, so hey, it's not that bad. But alright, next class. So guys, I am now the Elytrian. I'm just going to call it that because that's how it sounds. But pretty much this class is really, really cool. I mean, of course you guys can see I'm basically a living Electra now. And yeah, let me show you some of the abilities. So of course I have the wings, but I can also do this when I have my ability, which if I click the ability key, which is G, bam, you launch straight up. Ooh, shoot. Oop. And there's another con right there. As you guys can see, I took a lot of health when I hit that. And so basically another downside is that you take way more fall damage, and if you hit a block, you're probably going to take a lot of damage as well. But I mean, for being able to fly and go wherever you want, shoot, that's pretty sick. And you could also deal double damage while you're in your flight mode. So that's going to be a really strong ability if you're pretty keen on flying with an Elytra, or if you're pretty skilled with that too. And then one other thing I wanted to show you guys is that you can't put on heavier basically heavier weighted armor other than chainmail. You can actually go as high as chainmail, but that's it. So if I try to put on this diamond chestplate, it just won't work. You just can't. But you can wear chainmail, so yeah, you're kind of limited in that sense. But shoot, if you got wings, I mean, hey, you're probably not going to be on the ground a lot anyways. And then also, one last thing I wanted to show you guys is that if you actually go under a really low roofed structure, you'll actually get a debuff. Well, you should be getting a debuff. I don't know why I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm not low enough. Well, I don't know. It's not showing up. But basically, you'll get a debuff. You'll get a... oh, there we go. We have a weakness and slowness. So if you're ever stuck under here, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I guess you're supposed to feel limited or something. But yeah, you'll get a debuff. So make sure if you're under low structures, be ready for that. So as you guys can see, I just spawned in the nether. So as a Blazeborn, you actually spawn straight into the nether rather than the overworld. And as cool as that is, I mean, you'll see why you're suited more for here anyways. So if I walk into this water, I get absolutely no damage done, which is really, really awesome. And as a Blazeborn, you actually can do more damage while you're on fire. So it's actually useful to be on fire for once. And then another cool thing to being a Blazeborn is you can actually get thrown at with a potion of poison, and it'll do absolutely nothing. It's really, really cool, and you pretty much aren't going to be affected at all. But yeah, let me show you some of the cons now too. So now I'm in the overworld, and basically in the overworld, the only really thing you have to worry about is water as a Blazeborn. Everything else, you're pretty much immune to: fire, all that stuff, poison, but water is your enemy, sadly. But yeah, that's pretty much the Blazeborn. So now guys, I am the Avian class, and already you guys can tell I can jump off, and I can actually just float right down like a chicken would. And another cool ability is I can actually run a little bit faster than a normal person would. It's kind of hard to tell with all the snow, but believe me, you definitely can. Now, I guess the only real bad downsides of being an Avian, although it's a simple class, you actually cannot eat normal meat. I'll show you guys. So, as you guys can see, I have a piece of cooked mutton and carrots. And I'm going to try to eat the mutton as best I can. And it doesn't work. So that's one of the downsides. But you could still eat carrots and all that fun stuff. So if you're a veggie eater, cool for you. But another thing is that you can actually only sleep at a certain altitude, which is really interesting, and I think it's a very unique downside to this. So if I were to place a bed here, just like this, you actually can see at the bottom it says you need fresh air to sleep. So let's take this bed, fly over here, or kind of float over there, I mean. And then if we go right up on this little ridge, I believe we should be able to sleep. Or at least try to. Alright, now you guys can see I can sleep at night. I get that message and I could set my respawn point. Yeah, and that's the Avian. It's really cool and simple, and downside is arguably not that bad. All right, guys, now I am the Arachnid. So this Arachnid is really simple, and the abilities aren't too crazy, but I mean, they're really, really useful. I mean, let me show you guys. Ooh, here's a perfect wall right here. So actually, I can just scale straight up with this class and just go all the way up. And that's a really cool ability in my opinion. And then another cool ability is this. Come here, Mr. Piggy. You're going to be my test subject. So if I come to this pig right here and I just bloop, he's actually going to get stuck in a cobweb until my cooldown goes down, and then I'll be able to redo it. So although simple, it's really cool, and I think it'd be useful. Now the downsides to this is, as you guys can see, I have 3 hearts less, and there's also some other thing. You can only eat meat. I mean, not there's just this kind of meat, but you could really only eat meat. You can't eat vegetables or anything else. So it's kind of opposite to the Avian. But yeah, I am now the Shulk class. So the Shulk class is really interesting. It adds kind of multiple different abilities that you probably wouldn't expect this class to have. So first things first, I'll show you the main ability. If you hit G, you can actually open up a Shulker inventory now that if you place anything in here, you actually will keep it forever. So it's kind of like keep inventory, and you pretty much just have 9 extra slots, which is really, really cool. Now another ability is that you guys can actually see I have armor plating already. So the Shulks basically have armor, natural armor, and it's just a really good way to have extra durability. Another cool feature that the Shulks have too is that you can actually, if I come down here, I can actually break blocks straight like a pickaxe, which is really, really useful. So if you're Shulk, you're definitely going to be, I would definitely say like an all-arounder when it comes to abilities. Now, let me show you guys a downside that arguably is probably not that bad. So if I get a shield here, let's see. And then let me get a mob out. Piglin, it's time to shine. All right, if I punch it and I try to block it, yeah, it just doesn't work. You, as a Shulk, you can't actually block or use shields at all, which can be unfortunate, but hey, if you don't really use it anyways, then shoot, you're not that bad off. And you actually have natural armor anyways, so it kind of replaces that. And then also another thing is you guys can see my hunger bar is going really low fast. And that's just because Shulks actually exhaust more. Because I mean, I guess in the sense they're kind of a tank, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that's the Shulk. Last but not least, we have the Feline class. So if I show you guys this, let's see. Oh, you guys can already see. As I run, I can actually do a jump that's actually much higher than a usual one. And then let me just go up here. I will show you guys that you can actually jump and absolutely no fall damage. It's really, really OP when it comes to that. You can basically jump off the highest block in all of Minecraft and not take a single heart. And you could do like basically double jumps. You're super agile, and it basically makes for like a crazy acrobatic. So I just set the time to night so you guys could kind of see this ability much better. So if you guys could see, I could actually see in the dark, which is a really cool ability to have along with everything else. And let me pull out a creeper friend and show you guys what else you could do. And then another thing I wanted to show you guys is if you actually come to this creeper right here, our little test subject, he's actually running away from us as a feline. Just like a cat would in regular Minecraft would ward off a creeper, you do as well. Oh shoot, this one's actually a little brave. Oh, I'm scared. Just kidding. But now let's get down to the downsides of this class. So as you guys can see, I actually have 1 heart less than usual. And Mr. Zombie won't let me make this mod review. And then the last downside is I actually can't mine this vein of rock right here. It's pretty much just impossible, and you just can't do it, unfortunately, as a feline. You can't break any adjacent naturally spawned blocks. So yeah, that's kind of sucky, but hey, that's not the worst downside of all. So guys, that was all of the abilities. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see anything more like this. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.